Danny's on deck with Evil Dead chick. What's in store when you open the door? Step inside, my little ones. Bring your flashlight and good luck charms. Oh, and good luck charms. Oh. Might get dark. It might get scary. Maybe even a little insane. Crawl out from under the bed. Don't be afraid. Evil Dead Chick is here to entertain and thrill. Danny's on deck with Evil Dead Chick. Let's hang out till the sun comes up.
Take out the trash. Why? There might be something delicious in all that slop. Put out the air fresheners. Place a clothespin on your nose. Let's dig into the cream of the crop. Celluloid trash. It stinks, but we must watch. Celluloid trash. It stinks, but we must watch.
Howdy, gang, and welcome to yet another edition of Celluloid Trash. I actually thought I was going to be able to have this one on time today, and you can still hear the thunder rumbling out there, but it got really bad right before 8 o'clock, and I was like, no, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this at 8 o'clock and be sitting in front of my computer and get fried on camera in front of you guys, because it was a daggone electrical storm. So hopefully I can get through this episode of Celluloid Trash. Hopefully another storm won't come up. Darcy's got to sit in my lap because she got scared by the storm, didn't you, Darcy? Okay. So I'm just going to let her sit here in my lap if that makes her feel better. But here in a little bit, we're going to be talking about shopping mall and the curse. Not Curse 2, but the curse. I do actually have physical copies of both of these movies. I hope you guys and gals checked out the, if you didn't get to be in there live, for the Just One of the Guys watch along. We had a pretty good crowd last night. And also, I did a Evil Dead Chicks excellent movie reviews for Arrow Video's release of the stuff on 4K. So if you haven't checked that stuff out, be sure to check it out. Hopefully I'll be able to have a cannon fodder. I mean, not cannon fodder. That'll be Wednesday. But hopefully I'll be able to do a horror fandom. It's a way of life on horror collecting. We're going to be talking all things horror collecting. Hopefully I can have Chris on here with me. We'll just have to see. I've got to message him and see if he'll be able to be on here with me tomorrow. And hopefully, sans any storms, we'll be on at 8 o'clock. If anybody else wants to join us on here, or, you just want to hang out in the chat and talk about horror collecting and what you like to collect, I'd love to have you guys and gals in here. Okay. Wednesday, hopefully it'll be another cannon fodder. Thursday, another They're All Messed Up. Friday will be an Evil Dead Chicks Slasher Fest. It's going to be bad movie night at the drive-in, folks. We're going to be watching Drive-In Massacre and Blood Cult. Two very bad but entertaining movies. I'm not sure if there's going to be a Friday Foolish. If we do one, it'll be a short one because Evil Dead Chick Slasher Fest will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time promptly. Be sure to bring your buttered popcorn and your drink of choice. If it's a nice cold soda, if it's a beer, if it's you drink whatever you want in the comfort of your own home, right? All right. So, we got that coming up. Maybe a quick Friday Foolish. I don't know. That remains to be seen. And also, no watch along weekend. However, Saturday, August 2nd, which just happens to be me and Steve's wedding anniversary as well. I will be having an Aussie tribute and a bonus watch along. And there's a moth flying around there. A bonus watch along for Trick or Treat, which has Ozzy in it. As many of you know, sadly, Ozzy Osbourne passed away last week. And he was way too young to be passing away, and it was very unfortunate. He was a great performer. I liked many of his songs. So we're going to pay tribute to one of the greatest, in my opinion, greatest rock performers of all time, Ozzy Osbourne, and a watch along for Trick or Treat. So that will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, folks. All right. Nothing going on Sunday that I could tell you about. But we got all that coming up. And I've been working on some new designs. Sorry, folks. I wasn't expecting to hear that again. Oh, boy. I hope it doesn't get started. And I lost 2 people. I don't know if they were scared by that thunder or not. Geez Louise. I thought maybe it was over with. I better make this quick. All my dogs are scared because of this. But it's just too blamed hot. I don't know how hot it is in everybody else's neck of the woods, but it's been really, really hot for the past 2 or 3 weeks here. Hopefully that was just a road crash and it won't get started again. Sammy's coming back here, poor old feller. To get back to what I was talking about, is apparently the atmosphere didn't want me talking about Spooky Dog and Sebastian. But I've been working on some all new designs for Spooky Dog and Sebastian. And I'm planning on doing some animated shorts starring Spooky Dog and Sebastian and the horror icons that they will meet. Now, these aren't going to be very long. I'm not, an expert at animation just yet. And I know there are many, many ways that you can animate stuff. But I'm using the tools I have at my disposal, one of the tools that I know how to use right now. So it may be primitive at first, but I'm hoping to improve upon it. But I did want to share with y'all the intro that I think this is the intro I will be using. So hopefully that thunder won't crash again. And I'm just going to show y'all this little intro. I hope you enjoy.
Spooky Dog and Sebastian, meeting all the horror icons from your favorite films. Robert Englund, wow. Kane Hodder, groovy, dude. Bruce Campbell, totally awesome. Spooky Dog and Sebastian, who will they meet today? Let's tune in.
I hope y'all enjoy that. Sorry about that, folks. I accidentally removed myself. But I hope y'all enjoyed the little Spooky Dog and Sebastian intro. And look forward to some little shorts coming up soon. I will be putting them on the channel, hopefully here very soon, if the storms don't get me. So I also wanted to remind everybody that since this is a live stream, movie roulette is in full effect. And how do you play movie roulette, you might ask? Well, if you give a $5 or more super chat during any of my live streams, that includes this one, that includes watch alongs, you can pick any movie of your choosing for me to watch and do a review of for an upcoming episode of Movie Roulette. It can even be a movie I said I hated in the past. Who knows, I might like it. I want to invite y'all to also hop on over to deaditesondeck.com, my horror shop. Tell them Poe sent you. And remember, if you're not a horror fan, or even if you are a horror fan and you don't see specifically what kind of design you want, hey, fill out that handy dandy form on the homepage of the site, and I will be happy to work with you to see if we can make what your heart so desires. If you have a business or a side business, or you have a friend or family member that does, and you want to have a specific type of logo put on shirts and hats and mouse pads and tote bags or what have you, also hit me up for that. And if you buy them in bulk, I will give you a discount. Okay, so just remember all of that. And again, the site is deaditesondeck.com. If you remember the name of my YouTube channel, you certainly can remember the name of the shop. They are one and the same, folks. All right. So one last thing before we get started with these movies. Hey, Gory Tiger. I want to remind you folks, I know everybody's not made out of money and everybody can't pay a monthly fee to join the channel or join a Patreon or all that stuff. But I'm here to tell you there are several different ways you can support me and the channel, and they don't cost you a dime, folks. They don't even cost you super chats or super sticker money. Okay. And one of the ways is by subscribing. If you are enjoying the content I'm putting out and you have not subscribed, what's holding you up? I promise I'm not going to come to your house and try to minister to you or try to sell you cookies or candy bars or whatever. You will not be bothered. You can be anonymous, but please, if you enjoy my content in any way, shape, or form, please subscribe if you have not already. My next milestone is to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 956 now. Don't have that many to go, folks. And if we reach that 1,000 subscriber milestone, me and Candace are going to do some cool cosplay for you guys and gals, probably on a Friday Foolish. I'm going to be Cheryl from The Evil Dead, and Candace will be Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. So if you want to see us do that really cool cosplay, be sure to see if you can help me out and get me to 1,000 subscribers. The poet, you said the curses about the Red Sox. Oh man. We're going to talk about, how my thoughts have changed on this movie over the years when I get to it as well. Also, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content that I'm putting out. Hit that like button for videos and streams that you particularly are fond of. And share with friends and family members that you think might enjoy my content. And encourage them to subscribe as well and hit the like button and hit the notification bell and all that good stuff. Okay. So, and before, for those of you that weren't in here when I was playing it earlier, for those of you that didn't get to see the Spooky Dog and Sebastian intro, I'm going to play it one more time before we talk about the movies. Okay, folks?
Spooky Dog and Sebastian, meeting all the horror icons from your favorite films. Robert Englund, wow. Kane Hodder, groovy, dude. Bruce Campbell, totally awesome. Spooky Dog and Sebastian, who will they meet today? Let's tune in.
All right. Just wanted to show that again. I was kind of proud of that. All right. So let's get to these movies now, shall we? Um, so the first one is Chopping Mall, directed by Jim Wynorski, folks, and starring Kelly Maroney, Barbara Crampton. Um, yeah, this one is, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Did Jim Wynorski ever do a good movie? And I'm not. That's not a knock against the guy. That is saying the truth. I think Jim Wynorski would probably say the same thing. I don't think he took any of these movies he was making seriously. So, what is Chopping Mall about? Yes, Chopping Mall is so bad it's good. Yeah, yeah. So you've got these robots, affectionately referred to nowadays as killbots, that are to become mall security for the Park Plaza Mall. They're supposed to be state of the art, um, for 1986 standards, apparently. Um, and they go rogue, folks, because of a thunderstorm, just like we had around here, and lightning strikes the mall and sends these little killbots on a slaughter spree. And they're basically going to kill anything in sight. So we have a group of young people, um, who are, I'm sure, much older than they are playing in this film, but that they have decided to hang around the mall after hours, and many of them become victims of the killbots. Yeah, it's hokey. Yeah, it's goofy. Yeah, it's bad. But I mean, Chopping Mall is still very much an extremely fun movie. I have fun with it every time I watch it, and I've seen it many, many, many times. And I even made, some of you may remember, some of you may not, because it's been a while since I did that, movie Munchies, where I did a Chopping Mall Orange Julius. It was very, very good. And I got that from the Homicidal Homemaker, Casey, the Homicidal Homemaker. I got that recipe from her, and I made my own cup, and actually used styrofoam cups and t-shirt transfers to put a logo that said Chopping Mall on those cups, which is a pretty cool little thing that you can do. There's tutorials on YouTube that show you how to do it. This guy was, making money doing these. He would do them for, like, like wedding receptions and stuff like that. If anybody ever wants me to talk about how you do that, I would be glad to. I haven't done it in a while, but I think I still know how to. But I mean, there's not a whole lot of plot to get in the way of this film, as Joe Bob would say. It's just fun. It's just silly, goofy fun. You don't have to think about anything. That's what's so great about a lot of these movies that I'm going to be talking about on Celluloid Trash, is that you don't have to expend any brain power watching these. You can just have a good time and get your popcorn and get your soda or whatever, and you can just enjoy it to the max. And Chopping Mall definitely fits the bill. And as always, I'm going to, go ahead and give a rating for Chopping Mall. And oops, not that. I wasn't watching what I was doing. I'm going to give it 5 deadites out of 5, folks. 5 deadites out of 5, just because of the sheer fun. The fun meter would be bursting with this movie. Yeah, there's blood. Yeah, there's a little gore. A woman explodes in this, after getting shot a bunch of times by the killbots. Um, but it's still really, really a fun movie. And I'll tell my little drive-in story. Me and Steve went to the Skyline Drive-In a few years back, and we camped out. Steve said we would never do that again. But this is my Jim Wynorski story. This is my brush with low budget fame. I had to go to the restroom, and we didn't have any porta potties or anything like that. So the concession stand was open all night. Of course, the restrooms were where the concessionary was. And I was all bleary eyed. I'd been in and out of sleep, but I was like, I gotta go to the restroom. We were really close to the concession stand. So I went in there. And when I went in there, who should I see but Jim Wynorski? And he smiled at me and said hello. A very nice man. I think I was just kind of startled. I was like, when I got back to the tent, Steve was kind of dozing in and out. I said, "Hey, Steve." I said, "Guess who I saw in the concession area?" Yeah, who? I said, "Jim Wynorski." Oh, that's great. He went back to sleep. But anyway, that's my tale of the kind of meeting Jim Wynorski. All right. So I agree, Uncle Bill. Chopping Mall is killer. And that's why I had to give it 5 deadites out of 5. Gotta watch out for bursting the meters. All right. So the next film is The Curse. Again, not The Curse 2, but the original Curse movie. What, from 86, 87? I think 87, I believe. And for a really, low budget, kind of goofy movie in retrospect, directed by David Keyes, who was in Firestarter, who played Charlie McGee's dad in Firestarter. And he was also in that crazy movie, Why of the Eye. This also has Claude Akins from Tentacles, Malcolm Denaire from Christine playing another jerk-ass character, Cooper Huckabee from the Funhouse, and John Schneider from Smallville and Dukes of Hazzard, folks. But we've got a farm family in Tennessee. And Will Wheaton is on this too, playing the young Zach. And I believe his sister, she had the same last name as him, and she looked kind of like him. Played his sister in the film. I don't know, if she was in any other movies. I think it was Amy Wheaton. Somebody can let me know. Yeah, this was 1980, a 1987 release film. But so Zach's mother has remarried. I guess the Zach's father had passed away, and he brings his jerky son, played by Malcolm Denaire, into the family. And Malcolm Denaire, as Cyrus, is always picking on Zach. He pushes him in horse or cow shit near the beginning of the film, and they, get in a fight. And of course, Nathan, played by Claude Akins, comes out, and he backhands Zach all the time and lets Cyrus basically get away with murder because that's his son. And he's always saying, don't blaspheme, don't take the Lord's name in vain. And then he'll hit Zach again. Basically, the only kid he doesn't either yell at or hit is Zach's younger brother, Alice, or younger sister, sorry, Alice. But so some kind of meteor or something lands on the family's property and gets in, the stuff leaks out of it, gets into the family's well, and poisons members of the family that drink the water from the well, pretty much starting with Zach's mother, who ends up going crazy. First, she gets these growths on her face, and then she's like darning socks. I guess she's sewing the holes in the socks, and she's sitting there laughing, and she's taking the needle and putting it in her hand, and She's got the sock on her hand, and then she gets worse and worse and worse. Her hair gets all gray, and she turns into this weird looking creature. Now, the funny thing is, as I was watching it this time, and it's been a while since I watched it last, um, the creatures that they turn into, that the people turn into after they drank the tainted water, um, look so goofy now. Now, when I watched this movie originally when I was a kid, it was scary. You know, when the mother started changing into this monster, and they had to throw her down in the cellar and stuff like that, kind of like Evil Dead, because she was attacking the family. But then Cyrus, he goes crazy, and Nathan gets even meaner than he was. Um, and their animals go crazy. The chickens go crazy and attack Zach's sister Alice. Um, and the dogs become like the rabbit almost. Um, the cows are rotting. There's maggots in them. The fruit and vegetables on the farm are rotting. They look good on the outside, but if you cut them open, they're all nasty and got bugs and maggots and inside them. So, um, a really fairly gruesome film, but not as scary as I remember it when I was a kid. As with a lot of movies that people see when they're a kid, and when they grow up, they're like, when they become adults, it's like, well, that wasn't scary at all. In fact, that was kind of goofy, but it's still kind of a rubber monster, latex makeup bonanza. And, you know, you got some creepy crawlers and stuff like that. And I just found it fun, and I found it fun to go back and watch this again. Yeah, it's bad. You know, and I don't know that David Keith ever directed anything else. I don't know if he directed Way of the Eye or somebody else directed that one. But you know, David Keith was great in Firestarter and other stuff. And Malcolm Danare was great in Christine. He was great in Popcorn and other things. Cooper Huckabee was great in The Fun House. And but I tell you, these Southern accents that most of these people had, I'm pretty sure that Will Wheaton's not Southern. Um, and those seemed a little overdone and stuff. Now, John Schneider, I believe John Schneider probably has a proper Southern accent, but he was probably about the only one in this movie that had a real Southern accent. So, yeah, if you've never seen The Curse, or if you've never seen Chopping Mall either, but I think a lot of more people have probably seen Chopping Mall than The Curse. But both of them are fun. I'm going to give a rating for The Curse. I think this will get a 4, maybe a 4.5 deadites out of 5. Not quite as fun as Chopping Mall, but still up there for me. I had some fun going back and rewatching it again. All right, so I think I lost everybody now, so it's probably a good time to get out of here. But be on the lookout, like I said, for Spooky Dog and Sebastian, some little animated shorts to come up soon, and also some new t-shirt graphics to come up on my shop site at deaditesondeck.com. And I guess that is all for me for tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, God willing, and the creek don't rise and it doesn't come a big old storm again, that I can do Horror Fandom, It's a Way of Life, talking about horror collecting. And as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday night, folks, and I'll see everybody next time.